There were a lot of games that were failures in 2025, but you have got to give it up to Splitgate 2 because no game managed to fail as many times in a single calendar year as Splitgate 2 did in 2025. If you'll remember, Splitgate 2 officially launched in June of 2025, shortly after the game developer's dipshit CEO wore a Make America Great Again hat at the Summer Game Fest stage. And if that didn't kill the game right then and there, what would come later would almost certainly be the final nail in the coffin for Splitgate. Because shortly after the disastrous launch, 1047 Games announced that they were freezing Splitgate 2 in its current state in order to make some big changes to the game to be released at a later time. And when that big release finally happened in December of 2025, a whopping 2,297 players on Steam returned to the game, which pales in comparison to the 25,000 players that showed up for the game back in June of 2025. And after all that time, work, and wasted effort, the game is now hovering at around 1,000 players on Steam. And you know things are going really well when 1047 Games addresses the low player count on social media, pointing out, and rightfully so, that player count does not measure fun in the game. However, we're not necessarily measuring fun in the game because most people have already written off Splitgate 2 or Splitgate Arena Reloaded, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves this week, because nobody cares about how fun Splitgate is. They just care about how much of a failure it is. It's almost like making fun of someone for falling on their face, only this person has fallen on their face multiple times throughout the same calendar year and has gotten up claiming that they were never going to fall again, only to inevitably do so. And one of the funniest jokes that I've seen right now is that 1047 Games actually has a larger number in its name than current players of Splitgate Arena Reloaded on Steam. I tried the game at launch and I tried the game with the reboot, and to be honest, it feels like a giant nothing burger. Just yet another sloppy live service game that is over monetized and half baked. Sure, there might be some core idea of arena shooter and Halo and Portals, and that would be kind of fun if any of it mattered, but ultimately it feels like too little too late. The failings of Splitgate actually remind me of multiverses, except on a more pathetic scale. Now, 1047 Games are asking people to just give the game a shot and see for themselves if they like it, but honestly, even for a free-to-play game, people's time is still worth something, and I think the damage is done that most people are going to write off Splitgate whether they played it themselves or not.